Have you ever looked at your business and thought, I'm posting, I'm showing up, I'm doing all the things, so where are my clients? I get it. And I used to think the answer was always just create more content. Then this past week on a call with the alums in my Business Visibility Made Easy Alumni Mastermind, I asked everyone the same question, and not one answer was what I expected. As the members shared their wins at the top of the call, I kept asking the question, where did that opportunity come from? Because they were putting their wins in the chat. Maybe they got a client or they got a referral or they got a podcast guest spot or a summit stage they're going to speak on. And I was saying, that's amazing. Where did that opportunity come from? Not one person said it came from my perfectly curated Canva template. Nobody said it came because my last post went viral. One member said her opportunity came from a physician referral. Another said hers came from someone she'd met networking months earlier. A third said her client had simply been quietly watching for months before finally sending a message. Can we relate to that? People are lurking, right? And it reminded me of something that we all forget, myself included some weeks. Your marketing may already be starting conversations. You're just not following up on enough of them. There are 4 things I hear entrepreneurs say when they feel stuck. And I used to believe every one of them. So let's go through them one at a time and bust some myths, shall we? Say that 5 times fast. Bust some myths. See, I can't even do it. Bust some myths. There we go. All right. So myth number 1 is my marketing isn't working. Here's the thing that nobody tells you. You don't know when someone first notices you. Maybe they heard you speak 2 years ago. Maybe they joined your email list and never replied to a single email. Maybe they met you at a networking event, followed you on LinkedIn, downloaded your freebie, or watched a live video and never commented. Maybe you're watching me on YouTube right now or listening to my podcast and you've never reached out to me. If so, please stop that. Please reach out to me. Listen, we don't control when people are ready. That's not up to us. I wish it was, but alas, it's not. Someone can discover you today and hire you next year, or discover you 2 years ago and hire you tomorrow. I've had people join my Business Visibility Made Easy 8-week group coaching accelerator, and I hadn't seen their name or heard of them before. One lady joined. This was like 2 years ago. I will never forget it. And I asked her how we connected, and she said she'd been following me for a year. Y'all, I'd never seen her name before. I had no idea who she was. Lesson learned for me. So when it feels like your marketing isn't working, that usually is not what's actually happening. It is working. You just can't see it yet because you're looking for a response today to something you did months or years ago. And just because there's not an immediate activity on our content doesn't mean that people aren't watching and lurking. All right, myth number 2. I love this one. I need more leads. Sometimes what you need isn't more leads. It's more conversations. And my mastermind this past week is proof. Every single win that someone shared came from someone they already knew. Not a stranger, not a cold lead, someone already in their world. This is exactly what I teach and why I will harp on it every single week. It's the whole reason that call stopped me in my tracks. I want you to say it with me now because I say this all the time. I want you to write it on a sticky note. Visibility creates conversations. Conversations create opportunities. Opportunities create clients. Most of us stop at the visibility, throwing the content out there, and we wonder why nothing's happening. But visibility was never the finish line. I teach a conveyor belt strategy. Some people call it a pipeline. Some people call it a funnel. People are stepping on your conveyor belt at visibility. That's the first step. It's step 1. The whole point of our content and our visibility with it is to get into conversations, moving somebody along our conveyor belt to a conversation that then moves the conveyor belt further to an amazing opportunity. And that opportunity could be many things. That conversion could be different things. It could be, yeah, they hired you and they want to pay you money and they became a client. It could be they want to be your referral partner. They think you're amazing. It could be they want to collaborate with you. They've got a summit stage you could speak on or an actual stage you could speak on. That opportunity could lead to many things, but it's the conversation that drove it. Myth number 3, more content equals more clients. Oh man, I wish it were true. that if I created more content, that I would have a flood of content, of clients. Wouldn't that be grand? I mean, I would be a content making fool. I would be in Canva. You could not pry my claws out of it, right? But the truth is, more content only creates more opportunities if someone actually opens the door. And that content is an invitation. The conversation is what happened after someone accepts the invitation. I want you to write that down. Get another sticky note out. I've got my bossy pants on today. Your content, your visibility is the invitation to that person to join your world. The conversation is what happens after they accept the invitation and they come in. And you can send hundreds of invitations. If nobody walks through the door, or you never go knock on their door, right? Because conversation is a two-way street. Building a relationship is a two-way street. Nothing happens after that. All right, myth number 4, client acquisition starts with strangers. So let's get specific. Who is this person really? Your next client may already be in your world, a former client, a referral partner, somebody on your email list who never opens the email until that one email, that one subject line finally lands. They could be a networking connection. Someone who watches everything you post and has never once commented, like that lady who joined my Business Visibility Made Easy group coaching program and had never been visible to me until that moment of purchase. It could be an old coworker, a Facebook friend from 10 years ago, a podcast listener you've never met, someone who talked to you at an event 2 years ago and you didn't even remember their name. Does that sound like someone you already know? I bet it does. Those relationships still matter. They're just waiting for an invitation to have a conversation. So I'm not going to tell you to post more this week. I want to be really clear about that because that's easy advice and it's not what's actually going to move you forward. Now, don't get me wrong. Content is important. We have to be present in the online space. Do we have to be on every platform, posting 7 days a week, wearing ourselves out, turning cartwheels? We do not. But you do need to pick one platform, have the content, have the visibility, and the consistency to establish yourself as an authority. That is important. But here's the truth underneath everything I just shared with you. Most entrepreneurs like you do not have a marketing problem. You have a follow-up problem. And my Bossy Pants challenge for you is before you create one more piece of content, I want you to answer these 3 questions. Question number 1, who already knows I exist? And no, I'm not talking about your mama, your neighbor, or your dog. Okay? Question number 1, who already knows I exist? Question number 2, who raised their hand recently in my world? Maybe opened an email, liked a post, hearted a post, commented on a post, replied to you in the inbox, downloaded something, or maybe they sent you a DM. Okay, so question number 2 is who raised their hand recently. Question number 3 is who haven't I talked to yet? That's your marketing plan for this week, not a content calendar, because I know you've got enough content. I want you at 3 names, answer those questions. 3 names I want you to write down. Who already knows I exist? List 1 name there. Who raised their hand recently in my world? List a name there. Who haven't I talked to yet? List a name there. 3 names on your list. So if you've been sitting there wondering where your clients are, maybe the better question is, who do I already need to be talking to? Because remember, it's your visibility, your content that gets you into the conversation. That the conversation creates more opportunities and the opportunities create clients. It's that conveyor belt I'm talking about. They step on and we're moving them through to the end where there's a conversion. So if this episode made you rethink where your next client is actually coming from, I would love to hear from you. Please don't be a lurker. Send me a message, DM me, tell me who is on your list. Tell me those 3 names. When you've answered those 3 questions and you've got the 3 names, I want you to DM me or email me. I want to see your list and I want to help you get into conversation with them if you need help and you're stuck on, okay, Tracy, this sounds great, but what do I say now? DM me or email me and I will help you. And then I want to know what happens after you have the conversation. So pinky promise that you'll share that with me. This is the whole heart of what I teach inside Business Visibility Made Easy. It's based on what we're talking about today, making sure the content we have, the visibility, are getting us into more conversations to move people along our conveyor belt to converting faster. And when I say converting, I mean, yeah, maybe they became a client, but remember, they could also be a referral partner. They could also be a collaboration partner. All of those conversions get you into more visibility and the opportunity to have more conversations, so that the whole thing just keeps moving on its own. If you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to go to tracybeavers.biz/VIP and get on the wait list for Business Visibility Made Easy. The doors are not open right now as of the time of this video, but I want you to be the first in line when they are. And if you're listening on the podcast, the doors are closed now. We just went through launch. So get on the wait list here for our first launch in 2027, tracybeavers.biz/VIP waitlist. And remember, you hear me say this every single week. This is hard. Building a business is hard. Being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster. Some days your business feels like it is on fire and it is electric and it's fueling your soul. And other days it is sucking the life out of you. And if you feel like you're alone in that, you're not, my friend. You're not. Get in a community of support. Listen to my podcast, listen to my YouTube, DM me, email me, get into community with me and conversation with me. Oh my, that was so meta. Did you see what I just did there? I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And I want you to remember that when one of us rises, we all rise. So that is why we have got to keep cheering each other on.